Do you recognize this face? I bet you do. That's Winnie the Pooh. He's been around a long time. He's such a sweet character. And the name of this story is Just Be Nice to Your Little Friends. You hear a lot of bad things going on in the world, and maybe you hear some of the news about people not being nice to each other, and maybe you've even experienced that in school. And it's just so important for us to be nice to everybody. So here's the title page, Just Be Nice to Your Little Friends. It's by Carolyn Kenneth, and it's illustrated by Phil Ortiz and Josie Yee. Pooh awoke one morning with a rumbly in his tumbly. "Oh, bother, there's no more honey in the honey pot," grumbled Pooh. So he got dressed and went out to find some. Did you ever wake up with a rumbly in your tummy? Looking up in a tree, Pooh saw a big beehive dripping honey. "That would be yummy in my tummy," he thought. Pooh quickly climbed up to get the honey, and crash! Pooh and the beehive came tumbling down. "Mmm," Pooh said as he ate all the honey. "Mmm." But the bees looked very unhappy indeed. I don't think his tumbly was rumbling anymore. In another part of the 100-acre wood, Tigger and Roo were busy catching butterflies. "We're going to have the bestest butterfly collection ever," Tigger said. But the butterflies looked very unhappy indeed. Meanwhile, Piglet was out collecting acorns when he heard a lot of noise coming from the rabbit's garden. Piglet calls them acorns, and we call them acorns. It's kind of silly. "Rabbit, what are you doing?" asked Piglet. "These pesky birds are eating my vegetables," cried Rabbit. "I'm trying to scare them away." The birds scattered from Rabbit's garden and flew up into the trees. "Oh my, those birds won't bother you anymore, Rabbit," said Piglet. "And don't come back," Rabbit shouted. "Now my garden is safe." But the birds looked very unhappy indeed. The next day, Pooh and all his friends were sailing Christopher Robin's toy boat. "Pooh," said Christopher Robin, "does something seem strange about 100-acre wood today?" "What do you mean?" asked Pooh. "Well, the bees aren't buzzing, the birds aren't singing, and I haven't seen a single butterfly flutter by," said Christopher Robin. "Now that you mention it, it is very still," replied Pooh. "Today is much quieter than usual," agreed Rabbit. "The 100-acre woods is just not the same." Tigger sat up and listened. "Buddy boy, you got a point." Suddenly, Pooh remembered the bees whose home he knocked out of the tree. Tigger thought of all the butterflies he and Roo had caught, and Rabbit felt bad about chasing the birds away. "We weren't very nice to our little friend," said Pooh. "Good goodness, I can't imagine the 100-acre wood without bees and birds and butterflies, said Piglet. So they each thought about ways to make everything right again. Tigger and Roo raced back to the meadow and let all the butterflies loose. The butterflies were so happy they formed a beautiful rainbow. Piglet went with Pooh to help put the beehive back in the tree. The bees buzzed joyfully. Rabbit promised to share some of his vegetables with the birds. He built a bird bath in his garden and put up a bird's welcome sign. The birds filled the air with their happy song. Everyone in 100-acre wood felt much better once everything was back to normal. Pooh was still hungry, but he knew he should be polite. Now that we're all happy again, Pooh said to the bees, do you think I might borrow some honey? Well, at least that time Pooh asked without eating all the honey and knocking their home down. So try to remember when you're around your friends or your brothers and sisters and your mom and dads to try to be extra nice to them. Because if you're nice to them, it'll make them happy. And it'll also make you happy too. Bye. Have a nice day.